Do I think about people? Yeah, a lot. I think about you want a video that actually like scares you. I think about that a lot. And that's a video you crave. You crave a video that just scares you. You know what I mean? But that's the hard one, right? But that's what we crave. We crave something that scares us, right? Our character name, right? Okay, just bear with me. Character name, right? There's a little bit of something. Just a little bit of something. And you're around an area. Now, if you get to this, around in this area in Xenoblade, by the way, and you're not careful in this area, it can be hilarious. It could be just a little grindy. You know what I'm saying? Just grindy. But there's a lot of things that make this whole thing scary. Just everything that's scary about this, right? Now they took away the idea of making it rated M. Remember? That was the whole thing that they took away. They took away the rated M thing. Due to maybe it was marketing, right? Marketing. Oh gosh. So when you do like a procedure marketing, because that's what happens. That's what happens. If something's around you, that's procedure markets, and then that's how you get these stories from actual people. Not just me, but you get these actual stories of people who purchased a Wii U or like any of this stuff, right? This one right here, see, look, they give you a little tiny hint. See, they just give you some tiny hints, right? The hints they give, man, are pretty crazy. I feel like sometimes even like the compound of like when they tell you the description of the character, I think that's not even like measured. And measurement, I always say measurement, but it's not like, you know, it's creepy because it's not even seen. It's not seen. They're hiding behind things that kind of basically creep you out, you know, things that are just little basic ideas and they creep you out because they're basic ideas. But that's a perfect opportunity for them to have nothing else to talk about, okay? So what does lead that up to 2 minutes? Look how creepy that is. That leads up to like 2 minutes of just creepy stuff, right? And then it builds. If I keep seeing this again, see what I'm saying? If I keep seeing this, there's a thing. There's just a thing. And not seeing fear, you know what I'm saying? Not seeing fear, but seeing fear, it's two different things. You know, there's the person that does not see fear, right? And there's the person that sees fear. There's two different people. That person that does not see fear craves what the person's seeing. You know, they crave what I'm seeing, right? But then you take all that. So that's a lot of stuff. We're just going to keep it a little bit simple. Just a little bit simple. But it's kind of creepy. Not going to lie to you. This is not friendly, okay? It's kind of creepy, but that's the way it has to be. You have to think about, okay, so just take a breather. You have to think about it to yourself. Think about it like anytime you have blood on shoes, that should be good enough. You know what I'm saying? Blood on shoes. Anytime you're sinking yourself underwater, there should be some kind of idea that yes, it can get this creepy. And it can get this scary, and it has to. You know, there's points where it has to, or if it does not, you know, it just has to do that. Okay. If I ever went back to Connection, see what I'm saying? If I ever went back to Connection, I would always go back to Connection. The reason I'd always go back to Connection, see this one too right here? I'd always go back to Connection. That way I would get, you know, in my eyes. See, I'm creeping you out right now. I would get into my eyes an idea of what I was trying to see. Because that's the whole problem too. I was trying to envision to myself, what was I seeing? What was creeping me out so much that I was seeing it? That's where the creep comes from, right? Well, then we go down here. It's exactly what we think. See what I'm saying? But then I add some stuff. I have to add stuff because that's the only way it gets to it, right? Look. So we got to the 4. Here's another 4. So we got 2 4s, right? This is mystery puzzle solving. You'd be shook a little just to know how mystery puzzling Can be very puzzling, right? Can be there. So we've gotten to the 12, right? We've gotten back to 12. See, we're getting back to 12. So we're back to 12 right now, right? Notice how I spelled the T. Trying to give you an atmosphere, right? Look at how I drew my B. See how I drew my B? Wow, right? So what was I showing you up here? See, look what I was showing you up here. I always have thoughts of this. Look how I drew my B, right? That's how I drew my B. It doesn't help that when we take B and we flip B upside down, we get this, right? But of course, like this is just, these are, I love basics too, because this is just about basics. But what I like is there's a difference. There's a person who loves basics, right? The person loves basics. But maybe just an advanced person, right? An advanced person who wants a little bit better of a breakdown. You know what I'm saying? They want a little bit better of the breakdown, because if they don't have enough of the breakdown, you know, it never clicks with them, right? So it has to click with them somehow, right? It's not supposed to be easy either. I just can't stress that enough. It has to be like, ow, 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 right? It has to be ow. But then when we get back up here, okay, when we get back up here, Kayuyaku, right? This is Kayuyaku stuff, but okay, whatever. Well, whatever with Kayuyaku stuff for now, okay? Because Kayuyaku is just going to send us, you know, to other stuff. But we talk all about that information, and all that information that adds up to 7 minutes, because that's a lot of time, okay? So 7 minutes, right? So what is adding up to that time? How is it adding up to that time, right? And we have to add up to a certain time. It's what we call work ethic, okay? So we have to have an ethic of work. And the reason we do that is it just gets us right there. Because we're seeing this. See, we're seeing this little 3. And we're seeing another 3 over here. So sometimes it's not seen. You know what I'm saying? It's just not seen. And sometimes there's a passion. The passion arises. What arises, the passion. That's the problem too. It's getting away from a passion. Because if you were to hear me talk during this video, this is what's so creepy. If you were to hear me during this, you know, talking to you and whatever, you'd be like, oh, but he's passionate about stuff, you know? But little does it know to your head that you don't know me. That's the biggest problem. You don't know me. I don't know you. See? That's the stuff. The stuff is really, really hard to see. And another thing too, is do you actually respect the American version of Xenoblade over the Japanese version? And you ready for the answer? Yes. You respect the American version. Even though the Japanese version has more voice acting, the American version, whatever the American version is doing, or whatever the idea behind of what it's doing with its acting, maybe even, you know, the words, the spelling of the words and everything, there you go. So it's always just a little bit. It's a little bit. But I stay away from Xenoblade, okay? The reason I take time or breaks from Xenoblade X, okay, is I know some other things. So there's some other things I know, right? But when I get a chance and I think about Xenoblade X, and I think about an idea of a video creeping you out with a Xenoblade X, and how could I creep you out with Xenoblade X, I like to do it the way that's creepy. If it's creepy, you'll see it. But that's the biggest problem, man. That's the biggest problem with people. And then after all this time, all this butter, and all that, we get to our little symbol ideas, right? Then our little simple ideas, right? Because there's always got to be our little simple ideas. There's always going to be an idea behind our little symbols. And that is what it is. The scary things are the things when people are actually thinking. The things that are not scary, right, that are, they're all right, are the things that you don't even think about. You know what I'm saying? If something's scary, you're actually going to go back and think about it. But if it's not scary, you're just going to be like, oh, that was kind of funny.